Mod exit, and let's just see.
Stop resisting! We're all set.
Oh wait, she's gonna just wipe the party first move, I forgot. Who fucking gored that?
Sorry. What? The east.
Get out!
You shit!
Alright, I can't do anything with them.
Oh, this is good. I can still fight. All right. Yeah. Wonderful. Yeah. After you.
Yes!
Yeah.
Here I come!
Here. Yeah.
Weak! Weak! Weak!
Got it.
There's something that I'm gonna say that I'm not sure people are gonna agree with, but it's coming from the perspective of someone who was technically, this is my first dungeon crawler unless you count the Guided Fate series, which was all of 2 games and didn't play anything like this at all. I find this as complete bullshit. Now the boss is less threatening than some of the ones we fought before. And if you don't use that spell, she wipes you. I personally dislike any game that has a mechanic that is, unless you did this before, you can't progress forward. If you can't find the key to go through the gate, that's understandable. Unless you have some magical sword to do that, sure. But unless you actually found a drop to go somewhere else to get another drop to then come and do that, I call that bullshit. Agree, that understand that's coming from someone who has not played these games or anything about that. It is just something I would never want to play again.
We got nothing.
I think I still have 99 karma, and that's why that gore happens. Oh well, fuck if I care.
I'm gonna kill you!
Naughty, naughty.
See, that's the question, really, putting in a dragon. For me, the ending of a dragon is one of the largest parts of the game. For me, the feeling that I have when I leave a game is what makes me see if I want to play it anything else like that again. It's one of the reasons that I have yet to play a single other Metroidvania game, really. Because the one that I started out with, my first entry to the series, was fucking awful, and I never want to play them again. I decided to actually try and give them a shot, but then thinking more about it and how much I glaringly hated that game. I just never want to play the series again. Or the genre again, even. I understand that it's probably pretty unfair to just, like, base my entirety thing about my first encounter with any series like that, but if that's all I have, who am I to know that it's unrepresentative of it? That there might be something better, or that they're all the same? If I need someone else to let me know that it gets better, does it really get better, or is that just what you have to get used to?
We got nothing to worry about.
I can still fight. Just in time.
Here I come. Touch you.
This'll do the trick.
You shit. After you. Let me salvage my reputation. Okay. Now.
Here I go.
You shit.
That's a huge wall. Give me a second. I'll get to it. Generally, the Pokemon Disguise or whatever is player's mentality, whose go-to strategy is to grind more for whenever they hit a wall. Not everything should be trivialized by grinding. Actually, most things really shouldn't be. There are various other tactics you can employ, and in the case of DRPGs, I'm assuming dungeon RPGs? And Metroidvanias, just as you mentioned, of all things, exploration plays a major role. Everything in the Labyrinth can be variable, meaning to find a way to beat a powerful opponent. To that, I actually largely do agree that grinding should never be the answer to everything. And that's one of the things that I actually kind of show in my videos when I do Disgaea games in general. Admittedly, sometimes I will grind. If things get to a point, I will grind. But people can, in the comments, and if here you want to correct me if I'm wrong, I can say and vouch for it that sometimes I shouldn't win. And I will just win because I strategy the hell out of some stuff in the right moments. But doesn't mean I grind every single time something goes wrong. I'll work within my means. I'll do what I can. I'll think the problem through. If I think I can make it, I'll give it a shot. But I don't think that comparison actually can be done to here. When in Disgaea, numbers are a lot of things, admittedly, and when an enemy does 2k to me and I have 3k HP, I think, oh shit, I might be a bit behind, but I can probably get through this if I'm tricky about it. When my HP is 5k and they're dealing 20k, I have to go, this might legitimately be a point where in the story I have to die. I may try to actually be stubborn and pull through it, but it's still the thing in my mind of just going, I don't think I'm supposed to be able to win this yet. But when that is the last enemy in the game, as far as I'm aware of, the final boss here, where do you go from there? Where is the answer supposed to be, oh, I should grind more, or to, oh, I missed this one item in another dungeon?
Is this my spot? Naughty, naughty. My curse can.
What is this?
Is this my spot?
Shit.
You all right?
One of the major gimmicks, the FOEs, are as much living puzzles as they are as their enemies. See, I don't mind. That actually is an interesting thing right there, what you just said. A puzzle, I actually do enjoy. As much as I am bad at them, at puzzle games and puzzles in general, I do enjoy trying to solve them. I like that aha moment of figuring it out. What I dislike is when a puzzle is, do you have bigger numbers? Or did you pick up this one thing in another area? If you didn't, you lost the puzzle. To me, a puzzle is when all the things that you need to beat it are in your possession. When instead of needing to go back and do something else, you can beat it right then and there. It's a puzzle. It's not a test of strength. It's not a test of numbers. It's a puzzle. Just solve it and you can get through this. This was not a puzzle. This was if you didn't get this, you lost. You don't have all the answers. You lost. Go back and figure it out. To me, let me think, what was an example of a puzzle boss or a mechanic I guess you could solve in a game that I played recently. Like, I don't want to pull the card of that, but like, one of those things that you can probably relate to is some of the enemies in the Soul series. A lot of them will fucking kill you, just without a second thought and without remorse. But, I agree, numbers aren't really a suitable thing as a correlation here, but it is a puzzle in a way. If you can figure out what you have to do, solve their pattern, figure it out, memorize it, learn it, you can beat it. This, there is none of that. It's just if you didn't get this item, you lost. Or if you had the numbers for it, you didn't need that to begin with.
We got nothing to worry about.
Take that! Die!
You got stench.
In a flash!
Or, alright.
I see it.
This'll do the trick.
That victory
Alright,
was
that's
certain.
done.
The obvious outcome.
What? No, it can't be. Velkovrana, the great devourer, defeated by a little girl and her dolls? Ah, Luca, what have you done? Have you forgotten who raised you, child? How could you do this to me? I waited 1,000 years for this. Velkovrana, immortality, life eternal. It's crumbling around me. Ah, yes, Lucas' body.
An owl soared down from the sky, transformed into a familiar-looking young man, and plunged his sword into Velkovrana's heart.
You mocked my swordsmanship, Baba Yaga. Now die by my blade! At last, I have avenged my people!
Die? No, I don't want to die. I'm going to live forever! Forever! I threw everything away. And for what? For what?
Velkovrana crumbled into dust, and Baba Yaga's long life finally came to an end. The 3 keys were all that remained.
Keys! We can get Madame Dronia! Luca!
We'll wait here, just in case you need our help coming back. I'll wait as long as it takes, Luca. So go, get Dronia and come back to us.
Thanks, Neldy! It's okay! I'll definitely come back! Luca, my child, the keys cannot be used more than once. This will likely be the last time. Thank you, Marietta. I understand.
Luca tosses the 3 keys into the air. Bright light poured from the keys, enveloping Luca and the Tractus Demonstrum.
I'm back, Madame Dronia. I came back for you.
I knew you and Trakti could do it. You sure kept me waiting, though. Trakti, I just want to say, you were a huge help to us. Luca and I couldn't have made it this far without you. Thank you.
Let's go home, Madame Dronia.
Luca, you idiot, wait!
Dronia stuck out her cane and tripped Luca.
Don't get a big head just because you defeated Baba and Velkuvrana. I go first, not you.
Mimi, I came all this way to help you. I won't put up with this, Madame Dronia.
Just shut up and follow me. This is a precautionary measure. We don't know if a living human can survive looking back in this place. If you turn around, you could die. Or worse, be erased from existence. It's an ancient trial. The final test. I've heard that the souls of the dead will do everything in their power to make you look back.
But, it's okay. I'll be fine.
Where do you get your confidence? A little idiot like you will probably look back and not think twice about it. Everyone fails this trial, huh? Well, I'm not like everyone else. Anyway, just keep your eyes on my back, Luca.
Okay, I've got your back. Just leave it to me.
And if you scream, I won't be able to help you. You'll just die without me.
Ah!
Now, let's go home.
And I guess that's the end of the game then. This kind of aesthetic, though, I wish the game had more of. I love this kind
Luca,
of...
Are you following me?
Yes.
My daughter won't stop asking about you. I think I mentioned that in my last letter. No, maybe the one before. She really is nothing like me. Everyone says that. But I can tell how beautiful she is, just by touching her. I know she'll surprise you when you finally meet her. Also, I've been telling her to call you Auntie Velnia.
Luca, I'd like you to meet...
Wow! I know you! I know you! Auntie Velnia! You're my Auntie Velnia, aren't you? Mama told me about you.
Hey! Don't hug me.
I apologize. My wife told her stories about you every night. She idolizes you.
Auntie Velnia's Mama's friend! Her best friend!
I guess I'm going to hold my thoughts on the game until this sequence is done, because I'm sure it's going to be stopping like that multiple times now. So, let's just enjoy this and see...
Are you there, Luca? Did you scream just now?
Nuh-uh, I'm okay!
I'm hearing things. I guess anything goes here, eh? But that's well within my expectations. Why do I have to look after this brat? I hate kids.
First draw the circle, then cast the spell.
Luca's spell backfired in a dazzling display of white smoke.
I messed up. I messed up.
You can't even cast a simple spell. Are you sure you're Isara's kid? Hey, don't cry. Have courage. Isara knew what it meant to have courage. She had the courage to face those stronger than her, and the courage to face her fate. That's right. You were the real hero, Isara. Not me.
Yes! I won't cry! I won't cry anymore, Auntie Velnia!
Why, you... Okay, stop calling me Auntie. I mean, I'm young enough to be your sister. Fine, maybe not your sister, but still.
Huh? But Mama said if I called you Auntie, that you'd be happy.
I swear, Isara.
Velmia, I've been wondering, how come you refuse to overcome your disability?
Huh? What's the point? It's not like my foot's gonna grow back.
True, but is that why you won't try? Because it won't heal? You won't try your hardest because you can't win? Is that it?
What are you lecturing me for? Everyone acts that way. Sorry we can't all be optimists like you.
Training your soul is nobody's business but your own. Everyone polishes their soul to put on display before they die. Your skill, your character, your fate, it's all part of training your soul.
Are you starting a cult or something? Besides, there's no point in displaying your soul if nobody's looking.
Oh, but someone's always looking. The one person who matters most. Do you understand, Velmia? That's why people live. So stop resenting your lot in life. You're the only one who can see your soul, and you'll get to see it just before you die. And the meaning of life is whatever you're thinking about in that final moment.
As if I could see my own soul. What about you, then?
Me? Do I look like I polish my soul? I just want to enjoy every moment while I still can. And be surrounded by my favorite white roses. But, Velmia, I want you to be the one to close the lid to my coffin, okay?
Hey, Luca. Is my back on fire?
Nope, it's not on fire. Your back is beautiful. Beautiful.
This is Fiona. I had Isara create her. Think of her as an extension of myself. Now that Isara is dead, she will form a new contract with you. Understood?
Madam, no. Lady Luca, I look forward to serving you. You're so cool, Auntie Velnia. You're so tall, and your hair is so long. Will I grow tall too? Will I? I hope my hair gets long like yours.
I don't know about that. Your hair is curly.
I can't have long hair like you.
Don't worry. I used to have short hair too. And I don't know if your mother told you this, but you have her curly hair.
Wow! I do? Really?
Metanilla, he's actually a pretty nice guy. He's more like my servant than my husband, but otherwise being his wife isn't so bad. He filled the garden with white roses in case my vision returns. He's a funny man. I'm sure they bloomed lovely this year. Still, I want to see you again, Velmia. There's so much I want to tell you.
I'm honestly expecting Velnia to not make it up there. I'm kind of waiting for that gut punch moment.
Luca, I started to remember many things about you.
Like what?
I remember that you still wet your bed. I'm kidding. These memories are Velnia's.
Really?
Yes, really.
Papa is...
Don't cry.
I'm all alone now.
Luca, I want to show you something.
Wow, this place is amazing.
Your mother never brought you here?
Nuh-uh. I never knew about this place.
This was our secret place. Just me and Isara.
Mama and Auntie. Wow, it feels so good.
Luca, I brought you here because I have to return to the royal court tomorrow. I wanted to show you this place before I left.
What?
Luca, can you see the exit?
Not yet. Madame Dronia, are your eyes okay? Can't you see?
Don't worry. That's why I'm walking in front of you. Also, I hear you shout every time you're about to trip and fall. Be a little quieter.
I'm okay.
My wife. Isara told me that you always say the opposite of what you really mean.
Is there something on my back? What is this beast?
Nothing's there. You're okay. You're okay. Auntie, I'm so happy. You're awake.
Who are you?
Yes, not even God can fully transfer another person's memories. Now proceed just like we practiced, Luca, lest you confuse the poor thing even further.
Well, no. Your name is Dronia. Madame Dronia.
Ronia. And you are?
I'm your apprentice, Madame Dronia. My name is Luca. I missed you.
Why are you crying? Have we met before? Hey, Luca. When we get out of here, let's go back to your hometown.
Oh, okay.
We'll I'll need to clean that room. I bet it's really dusty.
I'll do it! Leave the cleaning to me!
Your magical aptitude is extraordinary. Truly, you are your mother's daughter. But putting a soul into a puppet is not a true resurrection. Like a wind-up toy, she will eventually stop moving one day.
So you can't revive her? It's impossible?
Well, there is one place where it may be possible. A place known as the Viewing Chamber.
Where? I want to go there! And then I can...
I do not know where it is. Your mother was conducting secret research on its location, but she left no notes behind. All I know is that the viewing chamber is not of this world. To access it, you must gather keys that are spread throughout different worlds. It is the doorway to the realm of the dead. The living have no business there.
The realm of the dead.
That is why you must stay by Dronya's side. If you do not want your precious Velnia to fade away, that is.
Luca, can you see the exit?
I can see it! I can see it! We're almost there, Madame Dronia! A couple more steps! You can do it! The surface!
Now is it done? Now can I finally talk? Okay, now it's actually done. Oh man. I was getting comfy in my chair for a second there. And with that, I think it's safe to say, while I have played other dungeon crawling games, none of them have been like this. I remember another game came out a while ago that was similar to this in that, like, you play first person in the dungeon, and I wanted to play it. Legend of Grimrock, I think, something like that. But I remember seeing that, and I thought, that looks interesting, I might want to look at it. And I just never got the money to buy it. And then this game came out, I looked at it briefly, and I said, I want to try it. I want to get my first taste of this sort of game, because the only game I have that is related to dungeon crawling in the slightest, if you want to look it up even, The Guide to Fate Paradox and The Awakened Fate Ultimatum. That's the closest I have. And it's not exactly a real dungeon crawler either, I think. As far as I'm aware, dungeon crawling is different from what I expected, and playing this game, I'm seeing very glaringly how it is. It's not what I thought at all. And while I will say that I'm intrigued by it, and I probably will want to give another one of them a shot, I'm curious about some of the logics in this sort of medium that I may not understand. Like we sort of saw at the end right there. I got fucking angry at the game there toward the end about how it tried to handle something. But for all I know, that is how it's supposed to be. That may be the common sense of this genre. And having not played it, I probably don't understand that. I can't make that connection, and I don't think that way. I think it's the proper way to explain it. Like, if you were to hand someone who has played a Souls game before the controller and let them play one of the new ones, they probably pick it up in a snap. They know what to do. They can pick things up. They've experienced it before, and they know what to look out for. They know what they're in for. Or if you hand it to someone new who hasn't played maybe even a third-person game like that, they're going to fumble, they're going to mess things up, and they're going to experience something entirely different, despite it being the exact same game. I'm very open to say that's probably what happened for me here. I love the story. I love the gameplay. I love the exploration while I could do it, and when the game didn't stop me for story reasons. I found the character creation so engrossing. that I want to go more into it, despite the game being done. I know the game has more things to offer. There are super bosses that I can do, apparently, that will give me some more story stuff, but at this point, I'm not sure if I still want to. Because again, I don't know if I understand fully what I'm in for. For all I know, I'm about to experience like what I described originally. If you know this example, actually, imagine playing Demon Souls and you hand someone the controller. They played through Boletaria, only alone. They played through 1-1 and 1-2. Then they say, I understand the Soul series. I know what I'm doing. But specifically, they did not play a boss fight. Then you hand them the controller and say, here you go, face false King Allant. Oh, he's gonna have a very different time than you think he will. But that's what I think I might be in for if I do continue this game and do what I need to get the next story bits. And I don't know if I'm ready for that. I don't know if I'm ready for that, and I don't know if it will be a number wall or, like I'm assuming, I see them possibly doing it certain ways. It will either be a number wall, it will be a puzzle, or it will be find the item. I may be categorizing these things incorrectly, but I feel like that's how I'm experiencing it at the moment. I'm used to number walls in Disgaea. They happen so much, but even in Disgaea, there's always sort of a way to get around it. The geosummons, like the strategy, the towers, all of that I abuse and have fun with. This game I don't think has the layer for me to do that, but for all I know, there is that. And I can abuse that and have fun with it and keep going forward. Or I can grind. In Disgaea, there's always the option to grind. Always. And here's no difference. I can grind to the Obsidian, Oblivion, and everything, but having done a little bit of grinding, only one session of grinding, dear fucking Christ, the experience from the requirement just skyrockets. Or it could be the third option, or what I'm calling a third option, because I probably don't know any better. Like that last fight. Unless you have this, you can't progress forward. And it's, when I say that, I feel like I'm invoking the idea of a gate key to go to the next area. Well, no, the way I perceived it, I guess, is you did not find the legendary sword. That was a locked drop in a dungeon because you did not get the key in a separate dungeon. So, you can't move forward. That's what I'm experiencing as, and that for me is kind of not what I'm used to and kind of what I have a sort of... I'm not sure if I'm ready to budge on that just yet because I haven't really experienced a magical moment of that. The way to say that is, like, imagine a game, that moment where it clicks, where you realize what you have to do, when you get that rush of satisfaction, when you get that moment of, I now understand what the game wanted me to experience. I haven't gotten that yet for the dungeon crawling series, I believe. But this is giving me an idea of what it could be, and what I'm probably in store for if I really want to go into it. And I feel like I might be ready to give that a shot. And holy shit, OBS just died. What a time for that to fucking happen! Oh god. Well, what a way for that to go. I'm not sure if they can see that on Twitch or not.
You will disappear.
Okay, OBS says I have reconnected successfully, so I am back! I am back! Thank God I saw that. I'm like, wait a second. OBS just fucking died. I'll get back to my train of thought in a moment after this, apparently, because this just happened! Thankfully, I noticed that it stopped at the beginning of it. Not toward the end of it, but apparently this is what the game's saying.
You will disappear.
Luca, I want to ask you something.
Oh, okay.
If I'm revived as Valnia, what will happen to my memories as Dronia?
I don't know. Really, I don't know.
I see.
No! No! Madame Junior! Why? Why?
My memories will fade away if I'm revived, won't they? So I need to say this to you right now, while I still have the chance.
Why?
I'm sorry, Luca, for everything I put you through. I really did want to live with you after we finished here.
I know. 'Cause you always say the opposite.
Dusk is just the darkness between day and night. But now the moonlight has come, and my brief life has finally reached its end. This is goodbye. But I have no regrets. Thank you, Luca. We will always be family. Now go, Mezzaluca. Walk forward and do not look back.
Madame Tronia, you remembered my real name.
Dronia's eyes glow an eerie crimson, and Luca is powerless to stop herself from walking away.
I love you, Madame Tronia.
Kids.
The darkness consumed Dronia.
Why? Madame Tronia, why?
Where the town of Refrain once stood, a sprawling meadow now remains.
Luca! You're all right! I'm so relieved.
Luca!
Yes, but Madame Tronia is gone.
Oh, I see.
I'm not gonna cry.
The Tractatus demonstrum begins to thin and shrink as it floats in the air.
Baba's magic is fading from the Tractatus de Monstrum. I suppose its job is done.
Tracty!
The Tractatus de Monstrum glowed brilliantly as each of its pages began to tear themselves out, one by one, and vanish.
Thank you! Thank you, Tracty!
Clear data has been made. If you do not, you will return to the title screen. We strongly recommend saving this separate file. How about it? Why not? If I load that, will that be New Game Plus, or is that going to be something else? Let's see that for a second.
Labyrinth of Refrain, Coven of Dusk.
Because for all I know, that's a clear data good end that will lead to more. From the beginning. Oh, that is New Game Plus data then, I guess. Because if I do that, it will start the game over. It's New Game Plus, alright.
Labyrinth of Refrain, Coven of Dusk.
Then how would I access the other stuff? You need to unlock the post-game first? How would one do that? Like, how would I go about that? The black page, oh my fucking god. So I need to go to this one right here that I made before beating the game.
I've been waiting
and
for you.
I'm assuming
Now
fight
then,
some bosses then.
Allow me to continue this story.